on the route. But we are going to run, he says, looking up at his list, Rex 15565. So let's get into a train and have a look. 5565. Lindau.
Got a question saying, how long is the Vorarlberg route? Well, in the main line, it's 42 miles, but on the Swiss branch, it's 5 miles as well. So you have kind of 47 miles there, but over 30 stations. So, yeah.
It's a busy station. So how Lucas, how long is, we were talking this earlier on, a run with all stops?
A run with all stops is going to be an hour 30 minimum.
Let's get the key in.
And but you have services all the way from like 11 minutes to 1 hour to 20 minutes because it's quite varied. You have some services which go shorter than others, stop at intermediate stations. And
so we've got the 612 from Dresden Chemnitz. We've got the DB Red, sneak from the Niddertalbahn. This is a free upgrade coming for Niddertalbahn. And you'll see all of this stuff happening as you go. Now, I am going to be using the new HUD components. I am going to be using the mini HUD in the top left, and I'm going to be having the track monitor here on the right-hand side. And what I am going to do is I'm just going to turn that score off because it triggers me in terms of not being level. Don't know why that bothers me as much as it does, but if I turn the score off, it's now all nice and level along the top. Amazing. So, yeah, lots of trains, lots of stuff going on. Let's have a quick look at the map while we are awaiting. This is Lindau, this is the island. And you cross the over onto the main line, turn right. Got a nice yard out here. And then we've got Bregenz, is this?
Yes, correct.
And then we've got the branch out to Lustenau, which is on the way to Switzerland. And then we head down through, continuing. We'll be following the mountainside before we cross into it and end up at Bregenz down here. So there's lots to look at as we go. And we're going, this is the mainline run all the way, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Turn on the safety systems. I should turn on the safety systems. They're all on, and turn them up.
Yeah, so Lindau is like a popular holiday destination in Germany because it's on an island. So if you fly down there, like fly behind the station building if you want to. Not to the right, no. The other way, we need to go this way. To look to the left here, like there's this harbor area, these statues at the front, they're quite popular. And obviously nowadays Deutsche Bahn is looking to closing this station down because I think 1/3 of the island is occupied by this station. So they built a new station outside the island where there was a freight yard before. But yeah, people are complaining because they want to go by train to the island. So everything is complicated at the moment.
New driver assist there popping up, telling me I had to set my train up properly. Got a little bit of stuff going on the screen over here. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's.
Just to check, Matt, do we want VSync enabled in the settings?
Oh, hang on. I should have checked that before, shouldn't I? Fresh install of the game and not doing the stuff. VSync is off and should be on.
There you go. Thank you for the shout out in the chat, Hero. There will be a disc version of the game. Yes, there is a physical version.
Right, speed limit is 50 km/h. I've got no normal speedometer. I'm going to be running it using this one. If you want the standard HUD, you just go into options, settings, and under accessibility, you have got the HUD type here, which is minimal, simple, which is just the round speedometer, normal, which is what you had previously, off, which turns off everything, but does leave you with the tooltips and so forth. So this is like I know some players were running with, they're using the F1 key to just hide everything. But if you do that, you lose HUDs and all sorts of things. So you use this one to if you use off here, you'll still get tooltips and alerts and so forth coming up. Right, let's come back onto this. 50. Got green light, you can see.
To explain the HUD top right. Yeah.
So up here you've got the green signal coming up, another green signal after it. You've got a 90 speed limit. Let me just back off my speed here a little bit. 50 kilometers an hour. Yep, we're good. We've got the light. We've got 90 speed limit go, because you know a lot more about the route than I do.
Yeah, so there's an interesting point here. You see a level crossing here. Basically, level crossings on this route only exist on the German part, because on the Austrian part, they invested the money and made everything free of crossings. So, yeah, it's a thing. They should really upgrade that in Germany a bit, because it does make it does help for the drivers and for the trains. So yeah, so ahead here is Lindau Reutin. This is where they built the new main station, which is not here yet. They were about to start construction when this is headed to Reutin. So we also still have the old semaphore signals here, which are gone now. One of the reasons we chose this year is because it's still getting nice semaphores variety. This is a big station. Yeah, so this was a big and busy freight yard. At this point, it's barely used anymore. They started to convert it to a station. Yeah.
Lucas, Matt, Lucas might be a little quiet. I wonder if we can turn him up individually or something. If there's any other audio sounds that need to be tweaked a little bit, feel free to let us know. We are keeping an eye on the chat as we go.
Can you hear me better now? I'm gonna just say test.
I've turned you up as far as I can turn you up. Everything else is up to you.
Yeah.
Project, Lucas.
I'm just gonna say something. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to turn myself up, but I'm not sure if I can turn myself up that much.
Well, while we're waiting, I thought we may as well ask a question or two. So Matt, this was something that I know you've talked about when we were hosting the player visit, and it's to do with the HUD. And it's how do you know what speed you're doing if the dial's off? You've just got the HUD, and you kind of gave this explanation of getting a feel for your speed. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, in a train like this, I can see the speedometer in the train cab, and so I'm feeling immediately more connected with the train, because I'm now looking at what's going on the train. I'm not flying the HUD. When you've got the HUD on the bottom right, you almost don't need to look at the train at all, whereas now I'm relying on the gauges and so forth in the train, so on this. But one of the other things I found was when I was driving steam trains with using the mini HUD, which don't have a speedometer. And so what I found was that I was starting to get a feel for how fast I was going by, because if you drive, like if I just pop my speed just slightly over 100, and you'll see the 100 km at the top there turns yellow because you're just slightly exceeding the speed limit.
Sorry Matt, I don't want to interrupt. If you could turn the game sound down a little bit, I think it's overriding all of us.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't want to interrupt, but I thought it'd be better if they could hear you.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna let me.
How that is.
I turned myself up a little bit more.
There you go. That seems clearer to me, anyway. Now everyone will be saying, now Lucas is loud.
So now around the corner here, we're approaching the border. So sorry, I have to have to talk. Here's a neutral section. So this is new. Matt, you're gonna have to open your MCB now, otherwise it's gonna blow. Yes. So we have neutral zones, and they work. They work here, and they also work on Peterborough. So you're gonna have to close this, otherwise they will send your MCBs flying, and you have to close them again. It's not a big problem. Like you can, even if they fly because you run through it, you can just close them again and drive on. But the loco will tell you. Yeah. So this was the border crossing, the bridge behind us.
What we'll do is we'll stop at the station. We'll go back and have a look at the border crossing, because it's a very
there's nothing special about the border crossing. I was really disappointed. I visited it, and I was like, maybe there's a sign or something, and there was nothing. So yeah, it's you only really notice it because the OCHLE type just changes, but that's it. And obviously the signals start changing, but. Yeah, but this is the first Austrian station in TSW we're visiting. Exciting.
Right, stop here, and then we'll go and have a look at that border crossing.
too loud now. Okay, sorry.
It's not one thing or it's another. Or balancing audio is a pain. We'll come back here. Just
Turn
turn out
myself
for the
down again.
gantries changing. There you go, there's the bridge. This is Germany. Notice the gantries. There's a bridge. And this is Austria. Notice the gantries. There you go, folks. Border crossing.
Nothing too special.
And mountains in the background. Notice, even from here, you can see there's a lot more detail than you'd normally see on mountains at this sort of distance.
Well, the mountains get really good, especially when you get the snow caps on the top as well.
We're gonna see that later, yes.
I think while we're talking about sound, it's worth explaining the audio around the Talent 1. We've talked about this a little bit in our roadmap stream, but to say it again, for all of the trains in Train Sim World 4, we were able to get right up and close and personal with our audio teams, and that's shown in our roadmap article if you want to know more about how we capture authentic audio for the locos. But in terms of the Talent 1, we weren't actually able to get in real life up to the 4024. And whilst the OBB were very helpful, the recording trip was just not something they were able to offer. So the audio you hear is a mix of what we were able to source from our soundscapes elsewhere. And what you hear is final. So there's no new plans to get any other sounds for the 4024. So yes, but the rest of the route is absolutely fantastic. And we're about to showcase more of that. Especially, my favorite bit is when we can get some of the photo mode shown as well, which we're going to show in the stream alongside some of the other features that are more kind of in the feature set for Train Sim World 4 across all of the routes as well, not just on Vorarlberg.
Yeah, so this is a one-track section. So there's a between this station and Bregenz, Hafen. The route is still single track. Oh, the Swiss train is coming. Hello. Yeah, so there's quite a lot going on here. So sometimes you do have to wait here for the signal to clear, like we're experiencing right now. But now we're able to go.
Right, it's 100 kilometers an hour.
So this street here is funny because we found a YouTube video where there's a speed radar sign that like tracks the speed of the cars, which also tracks the speed of the trains on accident. So we put some effort into implementing that. It's around the next corner.
This is a really nifty feature because people try and on the beta testers try and see how high they can get it. Like almost like a high score.
Yeah, it has become something of a challenge. It's but yes, this is a real thing. It does do this in real life, and it's captured this way. What I particularly like is the happy faces and side faces.
If you zoom in now, you're gonna see it. Yes. Maybe go. On stream that didn't pick up that well because of how stream works.
It's picking up the cars as they go past, but it picked up the train as you go past as well.
Yeah, that was a fun little feature to make.
What you can actually do is get some really good screenshots of your speed because you can now pause the game and pause everything dead in its tracks to take a good photo using photo mode. So I'm looking forward to seeing the competition around how high that number can be.
Yeah, Bregenz Harbor, Bregenz Hafen. So this is also a big tourist destination. This is where some of the services end that don't go further into Germany. So as you see on the left, there's a service turning around. And on the right, If you look with the camera a bit, like the lakeside, quite a big tourist destination.
The other thing worth having a look at is this new PIS here as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there are two types. So there are the ones at the platforms. Those actually only show the train that comes in the next 15 minutes. And then if you go to the other side, back to the other side of the platform. That thing in front of you, yeah, that's the complex one. And this one will show all the trains coming here. So.
Yeah, for everyone who wanted to know where Brian Ferry's, where the other end of the Brian Ferry's journey was from Brighton, it's, there you go. Or from New Haven, rather.
They travelled all the way down the Rhine, and... Yeah, and there's a lot of people here running around, so this crossing in front of us has a lot of lights, which we noticed, so we carefully put them all down. So that people don't run into trains. So the next station is the actual Bregenz station. So this is basically the destination for the tourists, and then we get the main station. The main station also has like the international trains stopping and everything that requires a few more platforms. So, and there are lots of services that we have terminate in this station. So, they, for example, the Lustenau branch comes into here and goes back instead of carrying on. This is quite a different station in my opinion, because lots of stations here were modernized. They have like this industrial concrete feeling. This one was built built in the middle of things and has a completely different design, which makes it unique. Kind of stands out.
Ventador, if you want a detailed information on the HUD, then set it to normal. And that'll put the original HUD back with all the detail of onboard safety systems, brake cylinders, speedometer, all door status, all that information's still there. Go into settings and change it back to normal. We're running on mini HUD, and the idea of mini HUD is to not replicate information which is in the train cab.
And again, that's to bring back some of that immersion, which is like using the actual things in front of you, the dials, the screens, the speedometers that are actually like modeled in.
Yeah, and you can dial it, change it up and down however you want to. It's like you don't have to have the track monitor if you want to start learning the route a little bit more. Just go back to the thing that shows you the single signals, or take it off completely. Or if you change this to show the to not show signal aspects in the settings, then these will just become little white circles. So you know where the signals are, but what they are. So you can kind of tailor this user interface a lot more now to showing what the the way that you want to experience it, essentially. The vertical gauge beside the clock up here is counting up. So this is in this case, it's counting up for the load passengers. And then when you are driving, that will count down from once you get to within a kilometre, and it's the 1 kilometre down. Why is the 120 covered? It's within half a kilometre, is it, Lucas?
Yeah, so as soon as you come from 500 meters on, it starts to turn red just to get your attention more that there's a speed change coming.
Yeah, that's all it means. It's just to get your attention more. We'll be reining in the next service, Rogers Gaming.
We got a question. Do you lose points for speeding? So I know the point system has been changed to reflect like better driving practices, but Matt, do you actually lose points for speeding?
You don't lose, but you don't gain. So normally you gain points by driving well, and if you've got everything turned on, it's 65 points per quarter mile. If you are driving, if you get to where the speedometer is yellow, which is between sort of 1 and 3 miles per hour or kilometers an hour over the limit, intentions. Then but yellow, you'll lose half of those points per quarter mile, and if you go to red, you lose all of those points. So effectively, while you're overspeeding, you're gaining less points.
And obviously that plays a big part into getting the new platinum tier medal, which you have to get 90% of the available points. So that's something to really aim for if you want to truly master certain routes and be the kind of achievement hunting driver.
Blaze, how can you tell if it's yellow? It goes yellow up in the top here. This will turn yellow.
Show that in a second. So here's a thing that's... There are lots of little things which are different in Austria. For example, the actual speed limits. So this route has lots of speed changes which are just like 10 or 20 kilometers, so less than 10% of the actual speed. They'll not be announced. Like in Germany, they'll have like a board a kilometer vorher saying, okay, in a kilometer it's 10 less than before. They don't bother. So don't be confused if you don't see that. If there's a drop that's more than that, so for example from 140 going down to 90, they'll have an announce.
So you can see the orange bar has appeared now. Sorry, let me interrupt. This is telling me I'm within a kilometre of the destination. So you can now. This is your hint that you're close to something. So it's meant to make you to where you are. You're not getting guided and counting down from infinity away from the destination, but you also don't need to learn the route. You get a little bit more guidance from that. Sorry, Nick, carry on.
That's much better than I thought, I think. I was just talking about how just speedboards are a little bit different. What was all this going? Yeah, but at the same time, they have a lot more emphasis on showing where a signal is. So if there's a signal coming up, the OHLE posts will have big markings in front of it, like the 200 meters in front of it. Yeah, so this is, I think the service we're doing, this is the last small space station we're getting at, and after that it's a bit more express. And the stopping boards here in Austria, they're actually on the OHLE. So if you fly back a bit, oh, we can show that in the next station. Okay.
No, fly back a bit. That's fine. Just wanted to stop the train.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, there was one. So if you come from the other direction to the station, like if you see on the other side, you'll see the train stops in front of the 70 because it's a free car unit, so less than 70 meters.
I don't know how well the overhead line equipment is showing up on the stream as well, because that's got that's obviously the new, more visible OHLE. It's obviously on all the routes, so you'll see that pick up as we showcase all of the different routes. Well, less so Anti, they're not really big on overhead line equipment over there, but
yeah, so the next section is the triangle, so going to the branch towards Switzerland, and this is actually quite busy, this area. So you're gonna have times where you do wait here a little for the line to clear, because you'll have trains crossing in and out the triangle part. So this is the most busiest section, and if you're in free roam and you want to go through here, sometimes you're gonna have to wait a bit until the dispatcher lets you through.
So the new bogey physics, not Ruben, the suspension is not going to be part of the rolling stock at launch. It'll be on the 323 in training centre as part of our test, but it's not going to be part of the rest of the stock. It just needs a bit more time to get the feature right and feeling right and working well. So that's what we announced when we did when we previously been talking about it. So that'll come shortly after, but we didn't want to rush it. We thought we'd give it the extra time to get it right.
Yeah, we'll share more news on both the suspension improvements and formation designer when we're ready to really kind of probably get them out into the best condition.
So here we go. Look, if we watch the speedometer, the speed limit up here as I accelerate, you can see it's gone yellow. and now it's gone red. So that's the same as it meant before. It's just a little bit over the limit, or a lot over the limit. Scoring bar looks identical. It's just showing counters up in different places, in different ways. So there's not really much to see. But what you will see is at the end of it, there's the new debrief screen addition. So I'll show you that when we get to the end.
So this is the Wolfurt freight yard. So bulk of the freight service will stop and end in this one. There's a lot going on here. And I think we're gonna look at this later. The Vectron.
Sneak peek.
Oh, there's a Vectron.
Spoilers!
And this platform here, it's a real platform, but it's mostly used by a real station, but it's mostly used by employees that work here. Yeah, and one of the reasons why we chose this route is because there's actually quite a bit going on. Like it's not just double tracks and stations everywhere, but you have stations with extra sidings, you have stations with extra platforms all the way, and some services that use that. It makes it a lot more interesting than a normal two-track line.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of variety to see as you're going down, isn't there?
We're going to call for the horn, Matt. And they were finally seeing the snowcats.
Are we on dynamic weather?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it started raining. Yeah, so we're coming into Dornbirn. This is an example of one of these like intermediate stations, which are a little more than two platforms.
So for those asking about the rain, there is no new rain effects of the rain itself falling, but there are new window effects for different weather conditions such as the rain and the snow.
Yeah, it's how the rain lands on the window that's changed. The rain itself is because it was quite pixely before in some cases, certainly. So it's and it wasn't running particularly fast. Regardless of what frame rate your game was working at, it was calculating the windows at about 30 frames per second. So now it calculates the rain at 60 frames per second. So the rain will look smoother, like how it's moving as well. Once you've stopped, I'll stop the wipers and we'll have a look at the windows in more detail.
A common theme in these Austrian stations is that they modernized everything, but they tried to incorporate the old buildings into it. So you'll always get like the old station buildings kind of intertwined with all the new stuff. There was a suitcase user somewhere. Maybe you can find him.
We'll look at the rain first. This is the rain effect. So you can see even if you look up close, it's still looking. Whereas previously that would have been a blotchy mess. Where we got passengers here? We've got wire, we've got umbrellas. Oh, we've got a briefcase here.
Spot the mobile phone user.
We've got
Favorite
someone
game.
carrying a bit of luggage there.
Yeah, I think the spawn rate of mobile phone users is a little too low.
It should be just about 100%, shouldn't it?
Yes.
I should be going, shouldn't I? Where are we? Yeah, right doors.
I have to read this out. It's JD carrying all his admin around in a briefcase. Yep. Perfect comment, Jason.
Right, Honums. Only me. Because I'm doing streaming. I need at least some kind of a hint. I mean, if you're off the objective marker, you need to really pay attention. See?
People were prepared for that.
Yeah,
I didn't say anything.
Thanks. Your support is noted and appreciated. Come on, brakes, get off. I quite like on these stations how you've got the all of the wires and tannoys and things are attached to that overhead wire.
They do that quite a lot, and there's also one station where they removed the track, and they reused the actual OGD line for the lamps and stuff.
I thought I was out of that now.
That's not how it works. Matt, you're the one who did with the tutorial.
Yeah, I know. We're going to be in the nighttime Hello service, so you'll see better. I think I'm on full headlights. Put some instrument lights on. Dial them up. Train lights on. Cab light, desk light. Again, you don't see them so much in the day. Wipers, cruise control, signal beam, high beams. Right, okay. Let's get going.
Yeah, so what's also interesting is that in Austria, they mostly electrify their sidings. So except for some exceptions, like here on the left, we're gonna come up to Dornbirn Quarry in a second, after the next 2 stations, I think, which is like it's a quarry. And instead of using shunters to get the wagons in and out, they actually use the mainline locos like the Vectron, and that also features in the timetable, because they just electrify even the track, even the small little branch lines that just go to a factory or to some industry place. So they're a little different there.
Yeah,
Those
just
are
purely demonstrations of reset from emergency brakes near. Like, just have to do it enough times so everyone gets it. Just, it's my service to you.
How many times has that excuse been used?
It's not an excuse, it's the truth, man.
For anyone that wants more of a detailed list on the layers and the scenarios as well, there is a link to our Introduction to Austria article that was published today, just in the description of the video. You can also skip back in time and see Matt talk about it on the video as well. So whichever you prefer, listening or reading.
Yeah, I really like this, where you like slowly come up to the mountains now. Because after Feldkirch, we're gonna go left and basically run right into the mountain.
Quite imposing, aren't they? They're kind of, as a piece of scenery, there's quite a lot of structure and form to them. So what we get out of the lidar data and the new texture is all of this detail.
Yeah, Matt, you said something about with the new lidar, the way of scanning it. Keep in mind, my brain hasn't picked up it as well as you have, but the actual detail you get is down to the meters now in the terrain.
It's 1 meter resolution,
right?
Is it, Lucas?
It's 1 meter, yeah. But the different thing we do now is that we kind of also bake it into the textures of the terrain. because you're not gonna have the 1 meter resolution visible from so far away, but because it's also now baked into the textures, you can see it much better. So that's why the distant mountains look a lot better now and more realistic. But yeah, obviously this is an S-Bahn line, so there's lots of stations. Next one's already coming up.
2.9 kilometers.
Yeah, when we go survey a route, it takes longer than you think because you run around each station, photograph everything. And often
Parallax
we do have
mountains.
because this route had so many stations, it took a while.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Exhausting.
You were quite busy. Do you need stop marker? No, you should try and not have it. I've got it on there because otherwise you've seen my concentration levels, honestly, unless you've just joined the stream. It's giving me a hope of doing it. Not having the stop marker on, which is just pressing Control 1 or going into settings and turning it off, the game suddenly elevates in terms of immersion, because now you kind of have to pay a lot more attention to where you are, and also to that bar which now just started flashing up on me, telling me I was getting close to my stop. That means that work changes orange and starts counting down when you're at the 1 kilometer point. Of course, I'm panic braking because that's what I do. CIFA is the same flow. PZB, I think the rules are basically the same as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Lockbeat, that's actually a feature of both the new routes and will be in all TSW routes going forward. There's a new system we use for OHLE, which doesn't make them any thicker when they're up close like this, but it means that they don't become sub-pixel very fast, so you can see them a lot. So it effectively tries to make them thicker as they go into the distance. So yeah, the OHLE should be a lot more visible on all the routes. And that effect has also been put onto Dresden as well.
Ironically, it kind of eats them up on stream instead.
Yeah, I can imagine that the stream pixelization is messing it about. We'll have a look at doing a 4.5 hour signaling and system tutorial, Victor. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the, you're a little late now. That should be reflected on the PIS.
Oh, it judges me as well now, does it?
Yeah, your arrival time is now yellow.
There you go. And this is when there isn't a train due within 15 minutes. I didn't see any bugs, Lucas. There are no bugs. Right, moving on swiftly. Make a note of it.
It's an easy fix.
That's it. Time to go.
Do we want to do a little bit of a showcase of photo mode?
Yes, I think we should. Let's find a good opportunity. Should have done it when that train went by.
And Lucas, we can talk a little bit about some presets as well.
The 2 kilometers at the top here is telling you what this width is. It's just informing you so that you know what the context of that bar is. So if it's halfway along the bar, it's about 1 kilometer away, and so forth. There's another sneaky Vectron.
That one is even chanting. Crazy.
So if I press escape now, and we go options and photo mode, this is the game. You can see even the rain is paused. Look. So what we'll do is go here, and maybe we will. talk me through these controls, because this has been changed since when we first set it up. It wasn't really done right, and Lucas and the team went in and made it all photographer-y. That's a new word. Don't judge me.
Yeah. So basically, this mimics normal DSLR a little more. So the focal point is everywhere between, I think, 20 centimeters and a kilometer. The depth of field is how open the lens is, and you're really gonna notice this when you zoom in a bit. So the field of view. So
Oui.
not that far. And if you look at the train now, and if you put the focal point to the front of the train now, so scale it back a bit. No, other direction. Yeah. And you can up the depth of field a little.
I think aside from train driver, I think also photographer is not on one of Matt's future career opportunities.
It's really hard to, yeah.
There's loads of different settings here though, because you can fully, like you said, it's like mimicking a real DLSR camera, and you can really play with the tilt, the rotation, the field of view, the depth of field. Seeing what the beta team have already done with some screenshots that have been posted on roadmap articles and elsewhere on some of our media so far, it's incredible what you can do. And I think giving this to all of the community, I'm really excited for the screenshot competitions that are going to come out from photo mode.
Can you try to press T? Yes. And now look somewhere else. And put the depth of field a little higher. Lower. Yeah,
Yes.
so that should also focus. So it's a little easier if you turn on autofocus. If you zoom in more, you're gonna notice it much more.
Yeah, the driver's stepped out. The driver's pause time stepped out and decided to take this photo. So that explains that. It's part of the lore of Train Sim World.
Yeah, so you can take your screenshots. You'll do a much better job than I will. Trust me, I've seen what the beta testers have been doing. And then you press the space bar, and you can. I'm just going to save it. I'm not going to upload it to Dovetail. And then we go. We've got a screenshot. And now it's T to do that. Right. Okay. It's back to driving.
Yeah, so the autofocus is currently not in the UI, but you can press
There's
T.
a very, very late little sneaky feature that Lucas put in, which is past localization lock. It's very cool.
I think it's T on PC and left shoulder on gamepad. If you really zoom in and get the depth of field effect, you really notice it, and it just makes it easier because you don't have to shift the focal point around all day long. It's a fun feature. You can have lots of fun.
Why not put the stations on the top bar? It may happen at some point. At this point, it's a first pass at the top bar to see how people get on with it, what they want to see. You know, all the platform markers could go on, your objectives could go on. There's all sorts of things could go on, but we also don't want to clutter it. So, you know, let's have your feedback about what you like and what you don't.
Oh yeah, you ran through another neutral section.
Yeah, neutral sections, folks. Neutral sections are where the power districts change, and you need to open your circuit breaker and close it again once. Open it before and close it after if you're doing it right. Modern trains, you can kind of just go away with reclosing it afterwards, but maybe not best practice. Oops, leaving this a little late to stop.
Jason's just given me a heads up. So there is actually a photo mode shortcut. If you're on controller, if you push both sticks down together at any point, it will just jump you straight into photo mode, which also subsequently pauses the game. So if there's something that's happening right then and there that's amazing, push both the sticks in, it'll pause it right on time.
Only Only Me says, how are neutral sections announced trackside, Lucas? There's signage on the post, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be looking at the Vectron Heavy Weapons guy. We should do an interior tour. Yes. Can one of you remind me to do that at the next station, please?
So we're gonna come through the first of the 2 tunnels on the route in a second. Oh, it's actually still.
How many neutral
around
sections are
around the
there?
corner is the famous tree.
Famous.
That's
Oh, the tree. Yes, we need to show. We need to tell the story of the tree.
Or did we already pass that? Ah, crap. Okay, gotta look at the map. No, we were in Hohenems. Okay, it'll come up in a second. So, Unreal sometimes is Unreal is awesome, but Unreal is also very complex. And we had a tree that just lived in the game, and in the editor it didn't exist, and we didn't find a way to delete it, or didn't find a way to get rid of it. At one point we deleted all trees, and it was still there.
Just to be clear, the problem with this tree is it was in the middle of the rails.
Yes. So
there was no option to just say, oh well, it doesn't look right, but oh well. But it was right in the middle of the rails.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time hunting down that tree, and after a week or so we finally found the error and got rid of it. But we left it a mural because we all got so attached to that tree. So yeah, we want people to think of it.
I love these little stories.
When Lucas was trying to fix this, we did make sure he was on the right branch, and he had checked the logs.
Oh, we're really bringing in all the puns.
I'm not bringing great driving, but I can bring the great puns.
Yeah, there was a lot of joking going around about the tree.
You weren't joking. What you were saying wasn't printable, Lucas. Oh, yeah.
Tremendous plug.
Where are we now? We are here.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal one of Matt's jokes, but I definitely got post-traumatic stress disorder.
There we go.
It was a hard time.
Oh, so someone's asking, what was the root cause of the problem?
Just
We don't know. I think a nuclear bomb was dropped on it and it was gone, and we all thought that was good enough.
the roots of it ran so deep. We couldn't see the sun anymore.
Whereabouts is the tree in question?
Sadly, we passed it.
Oh, okay.
I slept through it. I'm sorry. But everybody, you'll find.
What you'll find is that there's a little clump of logs there. And what else is there, Lucas?
There's a little plaque that just reminds people of the tree.
Yeah. So if you see the little random plaque on the tree, this is kind of a thing. Where's the other time we've used the plaque?
Oh, and that was Dresden Chemnitz and Dresden Riesa, where we had the kink in the track.
Yeah, there's a kink in the track, and we were looking at it and looking at it, well, that's not right. And Lucas was sending us photographs of it saying, look, it's there, it's real. So you put a big plaque in there saying, not a bug. You can have fun going and having a look for that now.
All right, Matt, here's a reminder for a little bit of an interior run through.
Yes, an interior run through. Let's just.
1 second, while you're here, can you check the PIS on the other platform?
Yeah. Door open.
Oh,
Hello.
oh,
Bring me down.
behind you. Go on.
Oh, you want the big one?
Ah, you missed it. You missed it. You're too late. So,
Here.
one thing that's new is that when you have trains just passing through and not stopping, it's gonna tell you like there's a train passing through. Please step back. But that's only on for like a little while, so we've passed it.
Wanted to go slower, and it occurred to me I could just put it in walk mode, and then it would be slower. But yay me! Let's gently walk our way back.
So just because somebody's currently asking, there's the Euronight trains which have the 182 pulling IC coaches. That's a little tricky. So you're gonna need the 182 from Hamburg-Lübeck, and I think it uses and since it's using the IC coaches, you're gonna need the BR101. But that BR101 still has a reference to HRR, so you're also gonna need HRR.
Yes.
It's not intended. I'm gonna have a look at why there's a reference between the 101
It's because
and
the 101 is a TSW2 add-on, so all of them have the reference back to their route because of the tutorials and so forth. So
oh yeah.
it needs separating
Yeah.
out, same or decoupling as we call it.
That's something we should look at in the future. In these scenarios, it's a bit unfortunate.
So there was a question about the collectibles. So on my list, I've got Austrian hats and snow height poles. Lucas, you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. So actually I don't think it's an Austrian hat. It's like a Styrian. It's a typical hat that people wear in Austria, like a traditional thing. You can collect those, and the snow height poles. So everywhere where the track runs next to a road, or when there's kind of a road coming close. In Austria they all have poles next to smaller roads because there's so much snow, so that when you run through you can tell where the road is even when there's snow. And those are partially broken, so one of the tasks is going to be to repair them. And then we have the Dovetail chocolate you can collect, and it really helps.
Have you got a list somewhere of all the Dovetail branded things you can find in the world?
I think my favorite one is the Dovetail newspaper.
Oh, right, yes.
So yeah, this is Feldkirch. So this is like one of the bigger stations. They also have international trains stopping here, because back there's a little branch that runs into Liechtenstein. So they're even, I think they even split some trains here, but we don't have that in our timetable. But this is quite the active. Well, I'm not sure if they do that anymore, but they did that at some point. This is quite an active area. So slightly bigger freight yard. Yes, so on the right here, there were quite a lot of buildings we had to make this feel right, because quite close up the track to the station, there are a lot of buildings. I remember the artists going on.
Once we stopped.
If you watch behind you, the distance, I think you're gonna see the castle. Like, no, it's lower down. Like directly when you follow the tracks, directly in front of the no, the other direction. Sorry, directly in front of a buff. If you zoom in a little now, there it is.
There.
Yeah, peeks out. Yeah. I love me some castles.
You do that.
Castles and bridges.
Going right first time, thanks. This is the left turn, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we turn through a tunnel through the first bit of the mountain range. And then you run up. The really steep part is after Blue Dance, but the surrounding area of Blue Dance is also a very heavy skiing area already. So a lot of people travel to Blue Dance and then go skiing there somewhere.
Lucas, is there any signal Easter eggs anyone can look out for? I know we did pick up on the speed camera as well, so that's like an extra little feature. Is there any other things?
Oof. You got me there, signal Easter eggs. I really hope they all function as expected.
They do it. They do this. They do.
No, signals. Obviously, they're quite close to the German HV system. They have their own little quirks, so they have in Germany you have the HB2, so the yellow and the green light, and it kind of depends on the written timetable what speed that is. In Austria it's a little different, they have another aspect, so they have a green, which says go 60 after this, and obviously also the distance signals have a few more indications they can show. Then there's the signal repeaters. They mimic semaphores, because when they designed them, thought there were still semaphores around, and they thought that would be the thing. And no 500 Hertz magnets in Austria, which is really awkward. But it also makes driving more fun, because you don't always have to stop.
So that green over green is go clear normal aspect and then but expect 60 at the next signal?
Yes.
Okay. See.
No. That was a distance signal. It's only when it's on the main aspect, not
Right.
on the. So if it's on the distance signal, it's yellow and then green under, then it's 60. Trans is another one of those little interesting stations, because they have they transport logs away. So they have a part of the station is basically a freight area right next to the passenger stop. And when you come to the platform, you kind of walk into that and over that. It's a little weird. You're gonna see that here to the right.
Is the screen on the right dimmable if you're driving at night time?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, so this big platform here in front of the station is now actually used for like freight and not anymore for passengers.
It's a great view of the mountains as well.
Yeah, you really see that we're climbing into towards the Alps now, and it gets really noticeable. Really like it.
Close the doors. Supply the beans.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing I like about this. That's pretty common in Austria, that often there are lots of stations which are still used for freight service. It's kind of uncommon in Germany. It just makes it more interesting because you have more junctions, more signals.
Victor, beans are great. I'm banned from eating them at home. No, outrageous.
I could scare Matt now. Yeah.
Sie fahrt Zwangsbremsung.
That's not funny.
Very funny.
Froof, so TSW3 is definitely playable on the Steam Deck. This should be, but I must admit I've not personally tested it. I will do.
Yeah, that was a soundboard, that wasn't the game. I'm just trying to mess with Matt. They want me to spam it.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh, Lucas, you bring such a lovely chaotic energy.
Say that to me way too often.
So where are we? We're about 2.5 kilometers for the next stop. Are we keeping the mountainous scenery from now until the end, or will that now kind of, are we moving through into the other side of that?
No, that keeps going on. So
We're not too far from the end now, are we?
Yeah, we're not too far from the end, and the end is inside that mountain range. Yeah. It'd be hard to go skiing without snowy mountains.
So the plan after this service is we're going to do another service from Lindau to Lindau. Pronunciation wasn't too horrible.
Lindau to Bregenz, isn't it, Lucas? What we ended up with? Yeah, Lindau to Bregenz.
Yeah.
Just show the branch line off, but we're also going to be showing it at night time in the fog, so you're probably not going to get a great view of the branch, but we also know that you want to see some of the lighting and the volumetric fog as well. So I'm sure at some point we'll show the branch again.
Yeah, the key feature there is the volumetric fog and just seeing how that interacts. And then we're going to take a little peek at the Vectron. Only a little peek, because we do have a full preview stream planned with the Vectron in mind. But how could we not? There have been messages for some sneak peeks on the new L and the R, the Azuma, but we'll save that for the proper preview stream. We're only going to indulge you on the Vectron for tonight.
Lucas, how do I use the cruise control on this? Someone's just asked for it, and I must admit that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can
So
see cruise
there's
up and cruise down buttons.
yes, but you need to activate it first.
Yeah, I know. I realise that.
Find the. So if you no. To the left. Where did the button go? No.
Doors.
Crap! I forgot where it was. I don't enjoy running with cruise control, so I did it a few weeks ago and then never did it again.
I rarely use cruise
To the
control.
right, no, to the right, to the right, to the right. I just found them. To the right.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, cruise control off.
So, next to the. Under the screen, the buttons to the right. Yes, yeah. And now you need to set the cruise control like. Yeah, the next station is Bregenz already. So we're coming to an end. We only stopped at like 1/3 of the stations now, so this is an express. So stopping at every station takes quite a while.
And I think it's worth repeating this because we haven't mentioned it yet. But obviously this is our first route into Austria, but it won't be the last. If you are interested in more Austrian content, well, more will be coming, but no news yet. You can check out our roadmap articles. We have a 6th-month kind of ahead calendar where you can see what our plans are for the different regions. But yeah, stay tuned. More Austrian content will be coming. But for now, you have the incredible mountainous scenery of Vorarlberg. Just look at that. Amazing. I believe this is where we are now was where my favorite screenshot was taken, which was staying right on the ground, looking past the 4024 and right up at the huge mountain. And the new scoring system is currently active. Yes, that's just kind of one of the base features for GSW4. So we'll be able to see a breakdown at the end.
Oh, neutral section.
I already did the neutral section.
Okay.
I saw the blue signs. I was paying attention, me, for a change.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching the stream on YouTube, so I'm 10 seconds behind you.
That's why I've shared my screen on Discord, Lucas.
Oh, I have that actually open on the other screen.
Oh, looking at it.
So the next station, we're gonna cross by Nützeders. I'm pretty sure that was the one where all the apple juice gets made. That I also drink. Important fact, very important fact. There's actually quite a lot of famous brands around this route. Milka at one end, then in Bregenz they make the Doppelmayr. They make all of the ski lifts and stuff around the world. That's, they kind of have, and then here Rauch, they call it Rauch. Juice that's sold. They all use trains. have to thank the beta testers a lot, because they helped us a lot with making the Austrian signaling come the way it came.
Yes. Yes, very much. In fact, just generally, big shout out to beta testers. They've been got a new round of beta testers have joined, and it's been very, very helpful. Lots and lots of beta tester bugs fixed.
Yeah, and also I gotta thank. We had a new person who started laying track. And this is one of his routes. He's done a stellar job. Maybe at some point get more from him. Who knows?
And the double green, double yellow is 60 from here and expect stop, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Bluedance is another big one. Got a big freight yard. Because after that it's actually single track, going through the mountains. So there's a lot of waiting here until there's a free track. Yeah, but the big bunch of the S-Bahn lines, they don't go up the mountain. Actually, up the mountain there's no S-Bahn at all. There's a small little branch that continues to Schruns, but everything else ends here.
We should get the new debrief screen at the end. Tim plays live. The actual how it awards score in the middle of the game looks no different.
A little more information on it, but that's it.
And
Yeah,
this
so these
mark
are.
the- Oh, sorry, Lucas.
So yeah, well, just want to say these are split platforms, so they can accommodate a few more trains here that way. Sometimes you're gonna sit on the platform on the left, and trains coming in and go out via the junctions, for example. They maxed out the capacity here quite a lot. Sorry.
I was just gonna say and now we've arrived at Bluedance. This is the last stop of the first service before we jump into another service. So we should get a breakdown and a little showcase of the new scoring. What do we think? Have we got a platinum medal on this one?
No.
I think it's a no.
I get a participation award.
On the left is the training academy. That building. Nope. That one. Yes. Train no people here.
The Vectron will be next, Nick, but it will be very soon. We're going to do about another 15-20 minutes service from Lustenau next, and then after that we will take a little peek at the Vectron.
Go me.
Yeah.
So you got the little
Nice.
breakdown here now, which tells you whether or not you've got how you've done, and gives you the score breakdown of sort of how that score is made up and where you got the minuses and so forth. So there you go. It's a get a bit more helpful than just the score at the outside. So it's and then obviously got the new platinum medal icon down here. You also
Look at
get
you,
these,
Matt. Well done.
Yeah, go me. But then you also, everywhere you sped, you get these little icons here just to rub it in just a little bit more. Otherwise, that information is by and large the same. So it's that's the output. This is what a scoring 2.0 scenario will look like. A scoring 1.0 scenario won't have that bit of the debrief on it, and obviously the calculation it uses will be different as well. Opark, the game always took away points for speeding, but it would basically, the way speeding works is that you don't gain. I'm not sure why that said use safety system 0. Real cool. Make a note of that because I had safety systems on. But the so the idea with overspeeding is that if you when you overspeed, you don't gain as many points rather than getting a minus on there. So this is just saying I lost the possibility of 96 points because of overspeeding. Right, so main menu. Right, we are going to what is the next one? I haven't got the script up. Do you want to just tell me what it is, Lucas?
Yeah, we're doing the go down. It's like
just give me the number.
Numbers. 1 second. Where is it? It is the 5772.
5772. And I'm going to again start by saying that this one is in the dark.
Oh no, sorry, wrong one.
No, wrong one.
This is too early. 5788. I think it was.
Is that what we said, Lucas? Do you not know because it's in the script?
Yeah. No, we didn't.
5788. All right, 5788. And I'm going to put it on static weather. We're going to go for a bit of fog. We're going to go for a bit of precipitation, a bit of wetness on the ground, and some cloud in the sky. Right, let us go for this. So this is this is going to be not quite a great demo of the branch line because it's dark, but hopefully you'll see the night lighting and the fog. Right.
Yeah, just to clarify, because it came up in the chat. There's mostly no 500 hertz in Austria. They have a select few for like certain areas which are dangerous, but a lot of it doesn't have it. So yeah, and extra percentage like that.
Right, let's get this turned down a bit, and we will get the doors open. Let's turn the cab light on so we can see a minute what we're doing. What was I looking for? Oh, that one. Put the high beams on. Turn the cab light off. So let's look outside. So this is the output of the volumetric fog. You can see how it's lighting up the area there. And
you could have turned on your
I had done that. Oh, there we go. Look, light everything up.
Those are a little extreme.
I've got it set on high beams. Let me turn it off high beams. This is the problem with fog. It lights up in front of you, and why you need to be a little bit more careful. And there you go. Normal beams. Turn the colour off again. So not quite so bright, so you can't really see them as well, but you can see just about there. We'll see as we go. But yeah, you can see the lights on stations and so forth, lighting up the area around the station more.
So this is another one. So the branch here is another one-track section. So we're gonna have to wait for the oncoming train to pass us, and we can go. It should be coming around. Yeah, there it is. I love the mirroring effect, flowing down the street.
Which you absolutely can't see in the dark. And
it's
different
important
fog
to say that
levels.
the fog is...
Go on, sorry.
No, it's important to say that the fog is always there a little, and that already makes a big difference. So if you're like in the sunrise, even if when there's just a little bit of volumetric fog, and there's a little bit of fog most of the time.
It's almost never a completely. Oh yeah, I forgot the brake candle, didn't I? I was going to do it again. Yeah, there's almost never nothing in the atmosphere. So when you're driving, and the actual that slider goes from 0 to 0.05, I think, in the settings. It's a really fine-grained slider, and you'll find even at maximum, it's a foggy day, but still it's not pitched up. But
your signal is.
Oh yeah. Too busy waffling.
So yeah, here for example, this aspect is called Verschub, Verbot, aufgehoben. It's basically it's not a shunt aspect. It's more like a in this case it's more like a ignore this signal.
Nice, I like that aspect.
They have different kind of things, so you can use the signals basically for shunting, or you can just tell them go to the next.
What you see is the lighting coming from various light sources. It makes more of an impact on the scene. It's probably most impactful in station areas. And probably find Bregenz is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, we're gonna come into Bregenz. It's gonna be a little different.
Should I turn the train lights on? Yeah, I have. Instrument lights. Door behind me. There is lighting in there, look. We said this would be a bit dark. I do apologise.
Yeah, it also on stream it's a lot worse because the compression algorithms are made for light environments. Yeah, the high beams and fog is Matt, you gotta stop.
Maybe.
Yeah, so this route is set in 2019, so you still have the old section here. They have since started to upgrade this section to double track, and they built an extra station, and they upgraded the next station completely, but this is still the old one that we're coming up to.
The orange stripe bar is a countdown to the stop, so you can see it's going down, and we'll be at 0 at the blue marker there. Spot some mobile phone users now, shall we? This isn't maximum fog, no. This is about half. Was it half we selected?
Yeah, about half.
Got some coffee cups going on here. Don't spill that on my train. I'm not cleaning it up.
It's a little late for coffee, right?
It's never too late for coffee.
It's never too late for coffee.
That's just
I'm a
crazy talk,
non-coffee
Lucas.
drinker. People always are surprised by that. I don't like coffee. And I don't understand people who like coffee.
Bregenz, Redenberg.
Matt, to confirm, the volumetric fog, is that just on the TSW4 newer routes and onwards?
Anything Todd
Todd
3.
4.
Todd 4, sorry, anything Todd 4 and onwards. So anything really released from TSW 3 onwards.
Plus Tristan Riese.
Plus Tristan Reese, yes.
Yeah, now we're coming back to the triangle we talked about earlier. We're integrating that into the main line.
One of those expect 60 nonsenses.
This one is a little evil because it says expected 60, but the signal then upgrades it to an 80.
Is that why it doesn't PZB catch me on that one then?
Yeah.
It's there just to make you think. Made you stop, made you look.
I guess they didn't want to spend the money for this speed indicator on the distance signal. I don't know. To be fair, they did rebuild this whole section after this, so I guess they just didn't bother.
Problem with having lots of headlights on is it lights up the fog. So it's on normal headlights, which doesn't light up a whole lot. And if it did light up much, it would just light up the fog.
Yeah, so here this is 80. These people around this area really don't like noise because everywhere on the route is normal, and in this area they put up these enormous sound barriers.
You think they could put some lights up or something? Must be nice.
You don't need light. You have a hut.
And the headlights aren't on because when they're flicked on, the fog gets illuminated. So that's why we're running with just...
I've got minimal headlights on, so other people can see me. If I look on the outside, if I can even see me, I can't see me. There you go, I've got lights on.
But that, like I said, that's pretty normal in Europe. Like the normal headlights in Europe are not to light up anything. They're just there to signal you are there. But
Matt, can we get a view of the fog lights from the outside as well?
Hang on.
I think it might be a better perspective of
You're
seeing.
asking me for things as we're coming up to a station.
700 meters. Yeah, that's a really good display of the new volumetrics and how it really is picked up, and also why we can't see anything when they're on.
Off again.
oh yeah, and here we have 2 yellows over a green.
It's 40, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're actually on the, yeah, we've come across the triangle, we're now on the main, and we're finishing up here.
Yes, we're finishing up there. Then we're gonna go have a look at the Vectron. Everybody's been waiting for. Have a look at the other PAS. Oh yeah, there's a train running. No, behind you. There's a train running through. Bitte halten Sie Abstand. Well, it already ran through. Just stays up for 2 minutes, roughly.
off to Bregenz.
It's the time that everyone's been after we're at the platform 2. It's time for the Vectron as well. Only a short clip. We'll bring it back to daytime as well. So this has been more of a showcase of some of the new window effects as well, but mostly the fog, the volumetrics, and kind of the nighttime showcase for the routes as well.
I love the fog on the street lights. It's so good.
It lights up more of this, what you're seeing, doesn't it? Because previously you'd see the light source, the emissive, and you'd see the light on the ground, and everything in the middle would be no different. It's actually quite a stark difference if you toggle it, turn it on and off. You can turn off if you don't like the volumetric fog for some reason, or it runs poorly on your computer. You can go into settings and turn it off. Then it'll just work like it did before.
Yeah, here's one of these repeaters. So this is the arm down.
Reduce speed.
So restrict the street. Yeah.
I didn't watch my speed. Oh, we're going down a hill suddenly. There you go. Just a reminder before we finish how you deal with emergency brake.
Drink. I'm gonna responsibly drink from my glass of water.
Yep, those of you playing the drinking game for how many times Matt does a PZB or a SPAD are probably going to be worse for wear this evening. Gen 8 fog is only on Xbox One X. None of the other Gen 8 platforms have it. The One X platform, however, had enough GPU power to handle it without and still have a decent frame rate. OBB doesn't have the 500 Hz magnets here, no. But Lucas was explaining that earlier on.
Yeah. 500 Hertz.
Yeah, someone's saying please retrofit 500 MHz magnets. Surely those are they are.
Oh,
there are those.
yeah. No, they only exist in certain places where it's really dangerous. But especially since it's 2019, this route had, I think it has 2 500 Hz magnets on the Austrian side, and that's it. If you go watch the cab rides, you'll see that. It's as per reality. The Austrians don't take 500 Hz magnets too seriously, but they're starting to do it more now, because it's pretty safety critical. To them earlier.
As you come into the bigger stations, you see that what the volumetric fog is doing is actually spreading the light around more, so the whole thing lights up better. Just quickly escape here, photo mode.
Yeah, you can really see the difference the fog makes here.
Oh, down. That looks really good. Yeah, photo mode is quite nice. Can do a lot, and like, everything kind of look pretty. It's gonna be a feature I'm gonna spend a lot of time in.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, one of the beta testers commented that there's all these trains that you want us to drive, but now I'm too busy taking photos. spamming our Discord with lots of pictures, lots of beautiful pictures. I hasten to add, but yeah, no, it's it's amazing to see what people are coming up with. It's another really interesting photo style people are coming up with that I really like. Is let me put the field of view back so I can see what I'm doing. It's if you stand up. Yeah, there you go. Getting some really interesting shots of inside the cab as well.
Interesting.
Some of the stuff that they've been taking is absolutely stunning.
Do you press T? I don't know.
Probably not.
I'll give Matt a course in photography.
All I know about for cameras is you point them where you want and you press the button on your phone, and that's it. That takes a picture. That is how cameras 101 for Matt. Right, there you go. So let's come back. We've got another platinum medal there. Nice. Right, let me come out of there and go back to main menu. Right, Vectron is next, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So let me look at my instructions because Lucas takes too long. Right, 62397.
Ouch.
Vorarlberg, timetable, Vectron. Remember, this is not the Vectron preview stream, folks. We are not going to do a detailed overview. We just want to. It's a good opportunity to have a first look at it because it's exciting. But a bit of light clouds on there. But yeah, we will be coming back to the Vectron for a dedicated stream. Blaise says, "Does the Vectron have two-tone or one-tone horn?" Lucas.
We recorded both, yes. We can do a horn. The horn is awesome.
Hang on.
You need to
Key in, train brake cutout, put it in forwards.
And low. Yeah.
Right, let us get the brakes off. See what's going on these screens. By the way, the speedometer and so forth is defaulted to be on the right, and that's how they are normally. But if you press this button, you can switch them over if you want to as well. So you have a freedom to put it where you want to put it. Okay, and then let's get moving. We've got a light. There goes the power. And you got a couple of rides on this, didn't you?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. So Railpool gave us the opportunity to take one of these through Austria, and that's also why the horn recording is so good. We had a lot of time with it, and they gave us the freedom. I think one valley was really annoyed because we did all of the horn recording in one valley, and the people there now hate us because disturbed them quite a bit. Yeah, we had a lot of time with this. We had the freedom, like we could tell them, please drive us 80 kilometers somewhere, and they were like, yes, please. So obviously, yeah, the sound on this is pretty good because we got time, and that's the kind of thing. So Railpool was really nice to us. They sent us to Locomotion, which were awesome. We had a great driver there. It was an Italian guy who just chauffeured us around. Shout outs to him. He was awesome.
These are the new wagons. Which ones are these?
Eanos. So they carry everything from everything open carry stuff, scrap, coal, aggregate, everything.
Canals. I do like the Railpool livery.
Yeah. But there are so many liveries for the Vectron. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them, especially now with the editor. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's a lot to play with on this, isn't there? You've got these more screens going on over here. Headlights are actually done on here as well. So if you click on here, you can set your headlights up however you want to. That works, and yeah, those AFB toggle is on here, and yeah, all sorts of things. I've not had
the settings screen is quite interesting. If you click on the little setting dial, that's all of the like train settings. You can limit the power in this, so certain use cases. So it's quite advanced. A lot of this works pretty well. There's also cases where the traction motor will cut off different, so 2 traction motors, or one will get cut off, so it'll only use 2. There's a lot going on here. The team behind this had a lot of fun.
Clear. How much is clear?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to people getting their hands on this. This is a good loco, and it's used everywhere. So I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of use over it, a lot of it in the next years.
We cut the throttle off then, AFB to maximum, because there's a neat thing on this as well. So if I now put AFB. And now set AFB to the 100 kilometers an hour. What you now need to do is press confirm speed, and then that'll take it. So you've got to remember to press that confirm speed button for it to do it. Because if I just move the target bug to 75, nothing will really happen. And as soon as I hit confirm speed, you'll see it cut the power so that it can start decelerating down to the new target speed. So you've got to remember to press that confirm speed button. Speed. You see the yellow indicator on the HUD, on the gauges here, moves up to show the new target.
Yeah, so the work that started on the ICE with all the PZB stuff and all the PZB text and LCB text inside the screens, it's all gone into here and been advanced quite a bit. So you get a lot of this thing is called a running computer, and we try to replicate that. Yeah, but I think
let me just show the old HUD actually. Just want to show the because there's a couple of people asking about HUD. If you prefer the old HUD, it is there under normal, and as the default if you set up a beginner or standard account. If you set up an expert account, you get the minimal HUD by default, but you can always just tune it here however you want to. You can see the original HUD is all still here. So that's Vectron.
Yeah, you don't get too much. We have a whole separate preview stream coming up to show the Vectron off. We'll give you a few more minutes and then we'll take it away. But our Vectron stream will be not next week, but the week after, and we'll have a good solid hour or so on Riesa Dresden on the upgrade Top 4. So yeah, I'm gonna do a JD and I'm gonna put the admin hat back on. But yeah, the Vectron is included with the deluxe edition of Train Sim Mod 4 at launch. It will be available for an individual purchase, but not for the first 30 days after launch. So you'll be able to get it, I think October 30th is the date. But if you want it right away, if you want it September 26th or even 21st, you can get it with the deluxe edition, which comes with early access from September 21st as well. So a 5-day early access, and you get the Vectron. You also get Flying Scotsman, which we'll be showing later down the line in more of our previous streams. But yes, check out all of the pre-order details in the description of this video. There is links to the different store pages, and just for your information, you can get 20% discount on consoles and up to 25% off on Steam and 20% off on Epic as well. So fantastic deals, definitely check them out. But if you're really excited about the Vectron, keep an eye on the deluxe and special edition of Train Sim World 4 because that will be how you get your hands on it from launch.